Hello, dear students. Today we are going to start the next portion of conservation of plants and animals. Before that, we will see some review of the previous session. In the previous session, we have studied about the deforestation, some laws related to the National Forest Policy, and how the deforestation causes, who are the responsible for, and which are the activities leads for the deforestation process, and what are the harmful effects, what will it leads to cause different problems to us or to the earth. Along with that, we have studied about who are the main victims of the deforestation. After that, we have seen what can we do to protect the plants and animals, that is the two approaches for the conservation of plants and animals. In this, we have studied the conserving biodiversity consisting the two approaches like in situ conservation and ex situ conservation. In situ conservation, we have seen how the plants or the natural habitat of animal used to be protect against any of the predator, and along with that caring them in their natural habitat only without taking them in any outside of their habitat. In case of ex situ conservation, it was just opposite to the in situ. It means that the animals were going to be taken from their out their natural habitats. They going to be conserved outside the forest or outside their natural habitat like zoo, botanical garden and aquarium. These were actually the one method for the conserving the plants and animals, and along with that for the entertainment purpose of the human beings. So these were the points we have studied. Now the new points are here which are just new for you, like a sanctuaries, or you also call as a wildlife sanctuaries, biosphere reserves, natural parks, or the national parks. These things you have heard, but actually you don't know the meaning of themselves, is it? So how they are actually related to the conservation, those things we will see. So if you understood about the national park sanctuaries or the biosphere, okay, so at that time you can easily understand the conservation how takes place through these things. So we will move towards our topic, that is the protected area in India. So which are the protected areas in India? To protect the plants and animals, which of the specific areas or the regions are present in the India? So before that, you should know what is meant by the national park. A national park is a park that is used for the biodiversity conservation. Biodiversity means a life which is living in a different species, means that may be any type of plants, animals, or any organisms which are living on the earth. Those are actually in a varieties, is it? They doesn't look like each other, they don't survive like each other, they doesn't spend their life each other, and their lifespan is not like each other. It's a very varies, that's why they are, it's called as a biodiversity, means variation in living purpose or the habitats. Next one, the conservation, biodiversity conservation. To conserve the biodiversity, the national parks were used to be made up. So the national park is the park that is used for the biodiversity conservation. They are developed and maintained by the union of government. So these are actually under the government rules. Next, near about 5 national parks were initially in the century of 1970. So in the year of 1970, only 5 national parks were there. But after 2 years, they will make one act, means one law, okay, come under the rule of government, by saying that Wildlife Protection Act should be there. So from that period to till 2012, near about 112 national parks were made in India. So see, this much of the difference where came out. So after that law or the act, near about 112 national parks were in India. So a national park is a park that is used for the biodiversity conservation that we have now understood. So that may include any type of the plants, or that may include any type of the animals. That may be a endangered species also. Means those are species decreasing in number from the earth. Okay. So one more thing, why we do the protection of animals in the national parks? Protecting them against the predators and protecting their natural habitat, is it? So these were actually the reasons. Next, sanctuaries means what? Wildlife sanctuary means what? So wildlife sanctuary is the naturally occurring sanctuaries, such as an Iceland, or you can also call as island, that provides a protection for species from hunting, predation, competing, or poaching. So these were the problems while surviving the animals faces in the forest or their natural habitats, is it? So each of they need their food materials for the living purpose, is it? So what they will do, they used to be hunt, is it? They used to be search for the predator, is it? So such a things should not happen, okay, to keep or to prevent such a things inside them. That's why the wildlife sanctuary used to be studied up. Okay, so it is a wildlife sanctuary is a naturally occurring sanctuary, such as an island, that provides protection against the species which undergoes hunting, predation, competition for the food material, and poaching. So these were actually the things happen. That's why the wildlife sanctuaries were used to be come out. Next, the wildlife sanctuaries in India near about 515 in numbers. So see, this is also one way to protect the animals. Next, so conservation of forest and wildlife, how actually done? Due to the threat from the mankind's, and it is important for us to conserve the forest and its wildlife. Wildlife is very important for us to maintain the balance in the nature. So see guys, why this word has came here? To maintain the balance in the nature. So see, I have told you a few things about the chain, is it? The natural chain or the biodiversity chain we have studied in the lower classes or the previous class. If any of them of the organism will be lost from that chain, so once again I give one example, like if the first producer, that is the plant, we know that, is it? The next predator will be the any of the insect. Later, after some insect, the who will eat that insect? There will be some mouse or anything like a snake or something will be there, animal type, is it? Then who will eat that snake? Any of the deer or anything like of a animal. Later, the deer will be get eaten up by the big animal like a tiger or the lion is it? So in such a chain of food chain, if any of will be cut off, means any of will be vanished forever from the earth, then is it possible to get a food for the other animals which are present as a producer, or which are present after the big, after the small predators? For example, if plants producing the food materials, is it? if the insects will be die forever from the earth, is it? Who will eat the plant? Is it? So the deer and the snake and the lion, they used to eat only the fleshy materials, is it? Fleshy food materials. Then who will eat the plant? If the insects are going to be die for forever, then it is going to be break the food chain in the nature. It means that the remaining animals will be get die soon because they will be feel a lackness of the food. So such a disturbance will be created in the nature. So for that purpose the sentence has came here like this: the wildlife is important for us to maintain the balance in the nature. Such a things happens, so that's why we should maintain the wildlife sanctuaries. So it is not important for themselves also, it is very important for us also. So in the nature also different types of the things which are valuable for human beings also will be get disturbed soon. Next, that is the biosphere reservation means what? So biosphere reservation is a very longer level of the process. So the biosphere is that the part of the earth in which living organisms exist or which supports life. See, the biosphere is the part of the earth. It's actually the part of the earth means the biosphere and the biodiversity. See guys, this is actually somewhat equal. So this actually consisting of the living forms which present on the earth. So that's why it's a sphere means a part of the earth. And what it do actually in which the living organisms live and supports the life. Next, the biology diversity or the biodiversity refers to the variety of organisms existing on the earth, their interrelationship and their relationship with the environment. So see, why the word has came here interrelationship. In the last chapter we have studied about the different habitats of the mode of nutrition, is it? So in that case we have seen some of the some of the animals depend on the other organisms for the food material, is it? If such a things are happening in the nature means if they are interconnected or interrelationship with each other, then if such a vanishing things will be created in the nature, it means that that is going to be vanish out, so that is going to be disturbed. That's why there should be a maintenance is there, and the relationship between themselves and the environment should be as it is for a longer time. So these things get included in the biospheres. So see, the biosphere reserves are the areas that protected from a human intervention. So in this case of biosphere, actually what happens, these are actually from the away from the human beings. Mean the any humankind cannot be interfered, cannot be go or hunt, cannot be go for just for entertainment. Such a things not happen in the biosphere reserves. Okay, so these are actually away from the humankinds. Next, what are the examples? See, so near about 18 biospheres are present. 18 biosphere reserves are present in India. For example, like in Tamil Nadu, like a Nilgiris, and in a Sundarban, which is in the West Bengal, and Nanda Devi, and in MP, like a Panchmari, it is might included as a national park and a national sanctuaries also. So the Panchmari is consisting of both national parks as well as the wildlife sanctuaries. So see, so guys, you must now hope understood the national parks means just to protect it. We can visit there, but in the sanctuaries we have a right to go there, but we cannot interfere, is it? But we are, by taking any permissions we can hunt sometime, but without permission also we can do, but in the biosphere reserves we cannot in any how condition cannot interfere. So such a things happens in case of these protected areas. So this is about the protected areas, which consist the national parks, sanctuaries, biosphere reserves. So you have to include these points whenever the question will arise on the protected areas which are from the India. Is it? Next, how protected areas helps in biodiversity conservation. Now we have studied in different ways, through the national parks, through the wildlife sanctuary, through the biosphere, the living beings going to be conserved. But how they going to be helpful? See, the cultivation is prohibited, grazing is not allowed, deforestation is prohibited, hunting is prohibited. So we can stop the grazing, we can stop the deforestation, we can stop the hunting. So then only we can able to give a protection to the animals, is it? So there will be no any fear to them. So these are actually the points for the how it will be helpful for us. Next, national parks and wildlife sanctuaries, just I have told you the definitions. The areas owned and protected by the national government for the conservation of plants and animals. But in case of wildlife sanctuaries, the areas which provides protection to wildlife against hunting and the predation. But in these regions, by taking the permissions, we can do these things like a hunting and the predation. Next, for example, like a Bengal tiger. So the Bengal tiger is a very endemic species day by day. So that's why it's very actually done for such a type of animals, wildlife sanctuaries. Next, rehabilitation center means what? This is actually a one center for taking care of the animals. So not only providing them a protection, but also taking care of them, means if they have got any injuries, if they are suffering from anything, diseases, okay, in such a centers, the animals which are present in national parks or the sanctuary, they going to be carry here in this center and they get treated well. So this is actually about the rehabilitation center. For example, we normally call as hospitals, is it? Next, wildlife sanctuary and the national parks. If the question will arise to distinguish between the wildlife sanctuary and the national park, at that time you have to mention some points like, first point, in the wildlife sanctuary, it is ownership of a government and a private individual. Getting? So wildlife sanctuary is might be a one private individual property also. Okay, someone can be buy some region for the sanctuaries, or it's one organization also. But in case of national parks, it's actually a ownership of government only. Next, in wildlife sanctuary, no any physical boundaries to restrict the public access, means anyone can wander, anyone can go and see or hunt. Okay, so no any physical boundaries are there. In case of national parks, defined boundaries are there. Public access only after the any approval will be there, then only. Next, in case of wildlife sanctuaries, the primarily protected animals are there, means prime first care is that there should be a protection of the animals should be taken. Next, in case of a national park, protects the plants, animals and the different types of the historical objects. Means what happen in case of national parks, along with the different types of the in along with the different types of the plants and animals, there are some builds of the historical objects. They're going to be put some historical things to just create as a decorative and attractive things, and just to live the those animals going to be conserved there. Okay, they should also feel that we are surviving in our somewhat natural habitats. To create such a um, nature, or we can say to create such a whether such things are going to be do there. Next, wildlife sanctuaries are very larger, but the national parks are larger with more diversity. So there are the varieties of animals will be available in the national park as compared to the wildlife sanctuary. Next, so you can see some national parks, is it, some sanctuaries, wildlife sanctuaries are here as I have shown you. This is about the Rajasthan's and Panchmari. Okay. Next, the biospheres, just I have talked about it. It's a protected large area for natural habitat. For example, like a Panchmari is consisting of a conservation for both plants and animals, different types of the plants and animals. So near about the biosphere is consisting 1 lakh 2,1700 acre of area. Okay, so this much of area required for the biosphere reserves. Next, the Panchmari includes both biosphere, along with that the bioreservation, sanctuaries and national parks. These type of different conservation things it concluded in the Panchmari area. Okay, next, the major part of this chapter is the flora and fauna. So now you must know that, or you should know that, what is mean by the national flora and fauna. So flora means related to the plants and fauna is actually the word for the animals. The flora means a plant inhabiting a particular area is termed as a flora, and fauna is an animal inhabiting a particular area is termed as a fauna. So the plants and animals found in a particular area are termed as a flora and fauna of that area respectively. So in which area the plants and animals are going to be conserved, are going to be present, such areas are known as a flora and fauna area. Next, the example for the fauna like Rajasthan. In Rajasthan, near about the flora are mostly present like a people, banyan tree of the Indian jujube. So these are actually not available in any kind or the any region of the India. So these are actually occurs only in the Rajasthan's fauna conservation area, that is a people, banyan in banyan tree or the Indian jubi. So see guys, next is here what happened in case of the fauna. There is the tigers, leopard, cord, jung, cat or the python, spotted deer and the crocodile, or these of the animals that may be a aquatic, that may be a terrestrial, are present in the fauna which are reserved in the Rajasthan. So see guys, the fauna and flora, this word came from the Latin word. So its meaning of the fauna is fauna in case of the Latin word. Okay, this is actually the Roman, it is actually meaning of a Roman god. Okay, so that's why it named as a fauna. The term were coined by one scientist. His name was Linnaeus. Linnaeus means Linneaus. Linnaeus in 1745. So this was actually about the flora and fauna. So the next question, why do we need to know about the flora and fauna and the different species, endemic species, all these things we will study in the next session. So till that you have to keep the few things about in mind. The flora and fauna, their examples. Biosphere means what? National parks and wildlife sanctuary means what? Protected areas which are in the India and through which process they are going to be conserved in different areas, and what are the actually benefits of conserving the biodiversity in the protected areas. Those things you have to be um, go through very carefully. So for any doubts and difficulties you can ask me anytime. So thank you.